everyone. We have a very interesting topic today. I wanted this to be a little bit more fun, not all the time talking about serious topics that we keep talking. So today we're going to learn how to make a natural deodorant. And we have a special guest all the way from Costa Rica, Genoveva. She is an herbalist. She runs her own herbal store in the beautiful Costa Rica. Well, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's my pleasure today. I wanted to teach you guys how to make a natural deodorant. And I think while we're making it, we can talk about the ingredients the differences between commercial deodorants and natural deodorants. So people can make like an informed decision on what they want to put on their bodies. And I think we can start with the recipe. And I have my little setup here. I can show you. I think you can see I have a little double boiler. I have a metal pan, but you can have also a glass, heat-resistant glass bowl on top of. I have a pot with water, and then I put the little bowl on top, and then we can just go right into it, and I'll show you what we're gonna be using for the deodorant, and then we'll talk a little bit about each one of the things. And it's interesting to do the deodorant because if you didn't know, deodorant is one of like the main things that everyone uses in their daily routine. And most deodorants, like commercial deodorants, are full of chemicals. So that's why I have like this drive to share with people like they can make it at home, and you can make it once a month. You don't have to do this all the time. It will last you enough, so it's not like a time-consuming thing for people who have like really busy lives, no? So we're gonna start with our oils. Today I'm gonna use essential oils. Usually you can also use herbs, but also the essential oils come from herbs, and it's a lot easier to just do in a little quick workshop like today. So we're gonna use coconut oil, and I have pre-measured everything here. So I'm using 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, and I'm gonna add these ones to my double boiler. So you want to add the things that take the longer time to like dilute, like beeswax, coconut oil. We're gonna use some shea butter. So we want to add those there in first. We're adding some shea butter that I have pre-measured. I have 2 tablespoons of shea butter. And we'll talk about each one of these ingredients and why we pick them for our deodorant. So there. Now that we have those in there ready, I'm going to let them totally melt. And when they're melted, we're going to add, I have some baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, and some arrowroot powder. So we're going to let this one dissolve there. And while that one's dissolving, we can just discuss a little bit about, since it's such an important area that we're taking care of, especially women, we can cut ourselves. So this is like to me, it's like I like making awareness, because any chemicals we put in this area, like when we ingest chemicals, our body kind of metabolizes it and kicks some of it out. But when we're putting it right on our skin, there's like no filtering. It goes directly into our bloodstream. And of course, if we put in chemicals, they will build up in our bodies. And some of the stuff that most deodorants have, there's 2 different. So one is deodorant and the other one is antiperspirant, right? So a deodorant, for definition, would be something that kills odor, right? Mm-hmm. And an antiperspirant is something that will block the sweat from getting out of your skin, out of your pores, no? So it blocks the pores from sweating, which our body, it's a natural function that our body needs. And what studies have shown is that sweat doesn't smell, actually. What happens is that on the outer layer of the skin, there's bacteria. And when sweat gets in touch with the bacteria, then that's when we get the odor of sweat, no? And we can also adjust this with diet. There's a lot of things we can do with diet to help our odor improve. But one of the main things people try to do is they approach it by putting deodorant or putting antiperspirant, thinking that maybe blocking that sweat from leaving your body will help you but that's contraproducent for your own body because you need to release those things out. And there's a lot of natural things that, even though they take a little bit of time to get used to, that you can do so you don't have to put chemicals on your body, right?
So I want to
So
ask
a lot of the things,
So I just wanted
yeah,
to
yeah,
interject. So I know natural ingredients are great, and that's what we want to probably advocate, and that's what we've been advocating. So now let's just talk a little bit about the what are the ingredients that are there in usually, like if I go off the market, like on the market shelf, what are the ingredients that they use in the deodorant that are not good for our body? And of course, what we are using now are obviously good, but what is it that's so bad?
yeah. So a lot of the deodorants have aluminum,
Mhm.
which are put in the deodorant as antiperspirant. They block the pores from sweating, but
Mhm.
they build up in your body, and they're proven to be the cause of Alzheimer's, and they're carcinogenic. They also cause liver toxicity. So aluminum is something that, people don't want to cook with aluminum pots anymore either. Like, we all rather cook with something else, and it's also bad for the environment. It goes into the water stream, and it's really bad for the environment. So that's one of the things that is used in commercial deodorants. That's aluminum. Another one would be parabens, which are the things that help it from going moldy and creating bacteria. They're preservatives.
Mhm.
But those ones are endocrine disruptors. So they cause hormonal imbalances. And this is something to care about when you're like, if you have a teenager, when you're just starting to develop and you start creating these hormonal disbalances, this will create like a chain of processes that will get blocked throughout your life. And then when you're like 30 something, you'll be experiencing certain diseases just because, this is like, it's been accumulating over time. Um, More things that have its propylene glycol,
Mhm.
it's another endocrine disruptor. They use it for the consistency of and also because it kills bacteria. So we're trying to kill bacteria in this sense. Mostly what they're doing is trying to kill bacteria because that's what causes the odor, right? And the other thing that it's known to be, and there's several studies, is the synthetic fragrances, like perfumes. So perfumes, they also cause hormone disruption. They can be carcinogenic, and they cause allergies as well. And that's why, like several of these ads tell you that you should change your deodorant every 6 months
Mhm.
too, because your body starts reacting to the same product that you're putting on. So they tell you should change it every 6 months because one is not going to keep on working, and then the other, you're going to start developing certain, reactions towards the chemicals in those deodorants. And this is why, like, I think most people are afraid of putting natural deodorants thinking it's not going to work because nobody wants to smell. And it's funny because in Chinese medicine, smell is one of the things that help you um, diagnose how your health is. No, like there is this whole section on how smell helps in that case. So I think it's good. Like, for example, I can see when I'm about to get my period. No, because I can smell my hormone levels. Like, I think everyone, like, I can see when I ate too much spicy food or when I ate too much garlic. I can smell it. Like, your sweat, it's a way of kind of diagnosing yourself and how your health is as well. Like, you can kind of tell those things, right? So, but if you don't want to smell, which I understand because we have to be sociable, so there's natural ingredients like the ones we're putting in here. Coconut oil is one that we're using, and that one, it's a really good one for. It's antimicrobial, antifungal, and it kills bacteria. So you see, coconut oil. That's why a lot of the natural deodorants have coconut oil in them. Then we have the shea butter, which is really humectant, which is good for your skin. Another thing that we are not going to use on the recipe today, but you can add 2 tablespoons at the end of, magnesium oil. Magnesium oil, it's really good for combating odor. But it's also really good because you need the best way to have your intake of magnesium daily is through your skin.
Mhm.
So that's another good thing. There's like big studies showing that most of the population, at least half of the population, is low magnesium,
Mhm.
and you can do it daily, and you're gonna feel like a little stinging when you put it on, and that's okay. That's normal until your body has like accumulated enough magnesium that the levels are normal in your body. Then
Mhm.
that's when you're going to be you won't feel that stinging anymore, and that's kind of a way you can tell as well. But magnesium is proven to help you with sleep, with digestion, with depression, with sore muscles. That you can
Mhm.
also use the magnesium oil in sore muscles, and it helps killing odor. So that's a plus thing that we can use. Then there's arrowroot, which is one of the ones that we're going to use today. It's also very common in natural deodorants. That's used for because it draws moisture out,
Mhm.
so it helps you not feeling the sweatiness. So you can it feels like you're not sweating, and you see like there's some people before, like in the past, they used to use arrowroot powder or other starches instead of talc. Until these new things started developing. So that's another one that people use, and it's really good for deodorant. And the last one that I see a lot of, there's a little bit of controversy. It's baking soda,
Mhm.
which is a naturally occurring salt. And I think what happens with this one is that, for example, here I'm using 3 tablespoons. But if you find that this is baking soda, it's a pH balancer, and it also neutralizes the acid in the sweat. So what happens is that if you have too much of that, you're going to be experiencing certain irritation. So the only thing you need to do is adjust the amount of baking soda that you need. And baking soda is another ingredient that a lot of the cases when you find commercial one, it has aluminum in it. So you should get a baking soda that is aluminum free. Um, so I think now our oils have totally melted. I think, can you see there?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So
Yeah.
where do you store it now? That it lasts us 30 days or whatever time.
Where do you, sorry, what do you say?
Store it like in a container or something? How do I use
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'm going to use a glass container.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I rather use glass because, plastic has a lot of, so that's propylene glycol, which is something that they put in plastic as well. It goes directly into our bloodstreams. We ingest it in any packaging that comes in plastic. So it causes a lot of damage to your kidneys, to your liver. So that's why I think it's much better to use a glass container. I think we can all find like a mason jar at home or something that we can just recycle and repurpose for our deodorant. And if you live in a very hot climate, then you can store your deodorant on the fridge. And that's why we're adding a little bit the shea butter that will give it also consistency, which will make it a little harder. So it doesn't melt if you have to take it out with you or something like this, no? So now that this is melted, what we're going to do is we add our powders. I'm going to turn off the heat. I turn it off and I add my powders. And I'm going to mix it. And this is when I could add my magnesium oil, which
Mhm.
is something really easy to make at home as well. You don't have to buy expensive magnesium oil. You can just buy like really good magnesium chloride salts, and then you just dilute them in water. So it's a simple way of making it. So when you add these two powders, it starts becoming pasty,
Mhm.
and you will see when I pour it into my container. It's just really simple to make.
Yeah.
I remove it from the heat,
Mhm.
and then I add some essential oils.
Mhm.
Another way you could do this is if you like to infuse oils with herbs. There's
Mhm.
several herbs that are really good for the other properties.
Mhm.
Clary sage is one. Thyme is another herb that is really good for its deodorant properties. There's even like witch hazel extract that's also really good for deodorant properties.
Mhm.
Lavender, we can use citruses in small amounts. You can use either lime, grapefruit, orange, and you can even make like a tincture with herbs, and you can use that as part of your deodorant as well. But this is just like a quick one that anyone can make at home with things that you can find in your home, right? And then to this one, you can just add any essential oils that you want, and it's ready. Now it's pretty much ready. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down a little bit so I don't kill my essential oils, and then I can just pour it back into my container. So I'll remove this one from here. And today I am going to use some clary sage because I find that one to be also like a nice neutral smell, like a nice scent, which is not too feminine or too masculine. It's good for both to use, for unisex, you would say, I think. And I think, yeah, those are like main ingredients that people use. Some people also use clay, like bentonite clay and other clays, because they draw moisture out and they help clean bacteria. So they're also good if you have any wounds on your arms, underarm area. Sorry, I have dogs. My puppies are here. So now it's ready. What I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just looking
Now
at.
it's ready. You can see the consistency. Chela. Sorry. So there, you see how it got thicker. So when it cools down, it's going to get solid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some essential oils. I'm going to add around 5 drops to this one. And we're ready. I'll just pour it into my container. What you want to do mostly is you want to dissolve all the lumps in the oil. You don't want to have lumpy baking soda or arrowroot starch. So that's the main thing about mixing it, is just to dissolve the lumps there. Then you pour it into your container. And this makes me about 2 ounces of deodorant, which to me, it lasts, I would say, so there. You see, you have 2 ounces of deodorant that you made in 15 minutes, no? And this will last me a month to a month and a half.
No, I think that's
And
kind
you
of
can make
effort, right? Spending 15 minutes, once a month and making a natural deodorant at home using a simple recipe. What Genoveva just taught us, can help you to get rid of all the ingredients that she was talking about that can hamper our blood supply or bloodstream for that matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we have it ready. And it smells really good. You can add your favorite essential oils. And I think it's great. It works really good. It might be a little adjustment period that you can give it maybe a week to see how your body adjusts. But there's also other things you can do for detoxifying, because if you've been blocking your pores from sweating, you might need to let your pores open up and just release all that thing that has been blocking. Like, it needs to get all those things out, no? So for diet, you can also do like, if you want, you can see that in Chinese medicine it can be caused due to heat, so you can do cooling things. But you can also like stop doing certain things that may cause more odor, which is eating spicy and greasy foods. Also decreasing alcohol and coffee, that might help as well. And avoiding smoking is another one of the things that could help. And then eating cooling foods like cucumbers, watermelon, pineapple, apples, like more cooling things that would help your odor be a little less smelly too. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. No, I think this is very useful. We just wanted to do something different over the weekend, show you a demo, like a demo of something that you can do it at home and use it, right? Now, the one question is this natural deodorant. Earlier, you talked about the commercial deodorants that are available. They actually block, right, from us to perspire. Now, in this particular case, Are we going to perspire and they're going to soak the perspire, our sweat? Is that how it happens with the natural deodorant?
Yeah, you're gonna still perspire. You're not blocking the sweat from coming out because it's a natural function we don't want to block. What we're doing is we're just like covering in the outer layer with antibacterial herbs and oils and other ingredients that will prevent from bacteria to form on the skin. So then when your sweat gets in contact, you won't be having the problem of having odor. So
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify that. Well, thank you so much, Genoveva, for joining us from Costa Rica. We are also going to offer workshops. Very interesting workshops are coming up. Very interesting programs are coming up. So stay tuned and we will let you know. With that, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.